Okay, so have you heard of the new Channel 4 show, Naked Education?
Of course I have. This was one that I was going to bring up to you as well. So.
Okay.
Psychos.
So the whole point of the show is to demonstrate body positivity towards kids.
No, it's not.
I believe it's age 14 to 16 that's been on it.
The groomers are running the asylum.
And this is saying that children were reduced to tears in the first episode of Channel 4's Naked Education on Tuesday night after learning a lesson about body positivity that changed their perspectives. It's supposed to tell several stories of different people's battles with their bodies and body image. In one segment, a group of teenagers aged 14 to 16 were taught about body hair, ending with 4 adults of different shapes and sizes coming in and stripping off to encourage discussion about what real people's bodies look like, body hair and all. The kids were first asked by experts to place hair on a mannequin on all the places they thought hair could grow on someone's body. Then the sexual health team asked the kids if they thought pubic hair was unhygienic before they were told that it actually can help protect against infections. What is your opinion on this show, and do you think it should be out there?
So the first time I saw something like this was a Dutch show. I think they did it in the Netherlands or something, where people were stripping off in front of children. The children were younger than 14 from what I remember. I might be getting that wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were younger. They had black, white, Asian, transgender, people that had their boobs removed, like all different body types in front of these children. So what they'll do is they'll come out into a podium, take off their robes and expose themselves to these children. Now, the videos can't be played on YouTube. They're all blurred for obvious reasons. You can't play it on YouTube. Not entirely sure why you're showing it to children. But anyway, we're going to pretend. We just pretend today in society like these things ain't fucked up. But my personal opinion, again, we descend further into madness. Adults should not be stripping off in front of children. Mm-hmm. Children should not have anyone stripping off in front. Children shouldn't be stripping off in front of children. At any point, that is something that adults do. When you get to 18 and like you're getting ready to explore yourself sexually or whatever, that's a whole other discussion. These are children. These kids are still watching Tom and Jerry and you've got them in front of adults. Like adults are stripping off, penises hanging, boobs out. They're talking to the children. Like, people that agree with this stuff, I have no respect for them. They're all sick. They're all depraved. This is nonsense. To do that to children. There was a time where we all agreed that an adult, where like they all like, oh, you would flash, someone would flash you in a park, the creepy
Flashes,
dudes. They'd come out of the long raincoat and they'd flash you. Now it would be an educational moment for a child. Apparently, it's all bullshit.
Yeah. So like, kids have no business seeing adults naked at all. I think there's a way to teach kids about this stuff in schools using just maybe cartoon images, or just even if you wanted to use normal images, it's not as bad as having a full-on adult stripping naked in front of a child. I think that can be quite traumatizing, to be honest with you. If imagine I was sitting there as a 14-year-old girl and I just see a grown man naked in front of me, that's an image that's not going to leave your brain. And if you think about it, once kids do start getting older, maybe 18, or maybe if some do explore a bit younger and they start seeing naked bodies, they're still only going to be seeing naked bodies or should be seeing naked bodies of people their age. It's not going to be grown adults. Like, it makes no sense. And so much is being forced on kids these days, and it's really unfair. If you think about the show Naked Attraction, you know what Naked Attraction is?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Like,
it's the show where they all reveal each body part, and then eventually the person chooses who they want to date.
Yeah.
You choose them naked first. Still makes no sense.
That's for adults, right?
It's for adults, and it's on TV after a certain time because kids aren't supposed to see it. But essentially, this is the same thing. You're just having somebody butt naked on TV in front of somebody else, and it happens to be children. Like, how can the government, TV companies, people doing the shows not see an issue with an adult butt naked in front of kids? It's not, you can't say that's for educational purposes, because there's other ways that you can go about it.
Imagine being in the boardroom when the clown that walked in and proposed this idea. Like, I'm sure there's going to be one person in there that was like looking sideways at everyone, like, what is going on here? But all of these whack jobs are in there going, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's put children in front of naked people, naked adults, and then put it on TV. And then they had to go and find parents that were willing to agree to this. That's the part that spins me the most. I mean, it would have been one thing if they just kidnapped these kids and put them in front of a camera, but they actually went and got consent from the parents. They're like, yeah, put my little girl in front of some big hung black dude and just let him talk to her.
They're saying it's for body positivity, right?
That's bullshit.
And it's not.
It's all nonsense. This is just nonsense.
It's like putting a kid in front of a naked adult. Their mind's not even going to be focused on the topic that you're actually teaching or body positivity. They're just going to be traumatized at what they're seeing. I wouldn't be able to concentrate. Imagine you've never seen a willy before in your life, and then all of a sudden you've got some old man's willy in front of you. Yeah. I'm not going to be listening to them talking about body positivity or even feel comfortable about it. I'm going to be like, what is going on right now?
The fact that they even put this on TV, Channel 4, I mean, you've put some garbage on TV before, but this really takes the cake. I stopped watching Channel 4 years ago when they started putting Big Brother on TV. Last Big Brother I saw was, I think there was a character called Cozy on there in science, and that was eons ago.
That was a good
That was the last good season, but even then it was, I mean, Big Brother's a stupid show, let's just be honest. Like, it's evolved into Love Island now and all these other nonsense shows, but Channel 4's put on a lot of garbage. A lot. But this might take the cake. And it's just bizarre to me that, I mean, this is based in the UK now, this one, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So where we talk on this channel a lot about things that happen in America because they end up down here. Like, we end up biting the bullet as well, unfortunately. And it's just crazy to me. And I hope that the parents that put their children on that show hopefully see this video or any other creators that react to these things that are sane of mind. And they look themselves in the mirror when they go to bed and they feel nothing but disgust that they did that to their children. And I hope their children hold them accountable when they are older.
It's unfair.
Yeah, and they look back on what their parents subjected them to. Like, Mom, why did you put me in front of this old dude? Why did you do that? Was there no other way to educate me on bodies? Was there no other way to be positive about bodies? For me to learn, you had to put me in front of a naked person so they can sit there and talk to me. And then you've got kids talking to people who are not sane of mind either, who have gone on stage and chopped off parts of their body, and you're talking to them about positivity. It makes no sense. All they're trying to do is destroy the youth. That's all they are trying to do. We are not far away from waking up one day and the age of consent has dropped to like 12 years old. I mean, where else is this nonsense going? Think about it. Like, they're exposing children to all this BS. You will get in trouble for saying certain things, but Jeffrey Marsh is allowed to exist on all these platforms trying to get kids behind a paywall. You've got surgeons who are happy to remove the breasts of healthy girls before they've even gone through puberty properly. 13, 14, 15-year-olds. They don't know what they're doing. They're children. None of us knew what we were doing at children. To make a life-altering decision like that is crazy. And then you got this. You put them in front of naked people. Like, what else is next? You're going to lower the age of consent. I'm calling it here now. In the UK, it's 16 right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably going to drop 14, 13. I'm willing to bet you next 5 years, 10 years, we're going to see a drop in the age of consent.
And then all the predators are going to come out.
Yeah, well, they won't be predators anymore by law. We're in the upside down. And in a way, unfortunately, these poor children were put in front of this bizarre predatory show. But at least other parents can see that there's some sickos out there and we need to protect our children from this. And I know a lot of people are very afraid to speak up about this stuff. And it's not hateful to have your own stance in it. I mean, if these parents want to parade their poor children around in front of naked people, they can do that if they want to. They're technically not going to get in trouble with the law, but you don't have to stay silent about it. You shouldn't allow this bit to become the norm. These people were freaks in the beginning and they're still freaks today. Just because it's on TV, it hasn't changed. You don't put children in front of naked adults. That is bizarre. That is weird. Strangers as well. I know some people are like, there's like nudists and they live like a nude lifestyle around their children. But putting your child in front of a stranger with cameras around them, that is very, very weird to me. There's no other way you can educate your children. Are you so incompetent of a parent that you had to put your child in front of a naked person just so they could learn? I mean, I don't really have much more to say. I saw this show. I saw the advertisement. I saw the Dutch one on Instagram to begin with. And I was like, okay, well, that's pretty brazen to put on TV. There's no way that's going to come to the UK. And not days later, they announced a UK version. I was like, well, we have well and truly descended into the ninth circle of hell. But there's going to be some clowns that are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'll just say, go fuck yourself. Seriously. Just go fuck yourself.
I'm intrigued to hear what people actually have to say, though, how they can justify it and what the actual logic that they think is behind this, you know?
Yeah. Putting children in front of naked people, please. Like if you have a justification for putting a child in front of a naked stranger, and you think that's the best way they can learn about naked bodies and our reproductive organs or whatever else. I haven't watched the show yet, so I don't know exactly what they end up talking about, but just putting a kid in front of a naked body to teach body positivity. If you think that's the best way and you have a solid argument for it, by all means, write in the comment section, prove me wrong. But I sincerely doubt it. And please don't be surprised if people just ratio your comment. I mean, this is madness. This is actual madness to me. I don't know what is going on. It's crazy.
Just keeps getting worse and worse day by day.
Yeah, every day I wake up and I'm like,
what's today gonna bring?
What's going on? You sign on to Instagram and you're like, surely not. Surely you didn't do that. I mean, we've got some more videos coming up. There's one where I signed on, I was like, that's a parody. There's no way. Turned out to be real, but we'll save that for another video.
Oh, God.